But regarding discipline, right? This idea of discipline or punishment, right? I want you guys, let's think about this definition. Punishment is an emotional response. It requires judgment. It imposes an outside power. It arouses resentment and anger. It invites more conflict. When a punishment is not in any way helping the person, it just brings more emotion towards you. And you have to realize when you're working with kids, and especially when you get into middle school, they're different than early childhood and elementary kids, right? When you get to middle school, high school, what others feel about them is very important, what their friends are. So you're going to embarrass them in front of everyone else, they feel like, wow, they're going to get an emotional response out of you, and that might not be what you want. So it's so important to kind of keep that in mind. So what is discipline? Discipline allows the student to recognize what he or she has done wrong. Having an understanding and say, look, do you understand why we're sitting down and talking today? Can you explain to me what the concern is? Right? Ownership of the problem stays with the student. Now you can explain it to them even if they don't know, hey, here's the reason why we're sitting down together. I want you to understand what you did. And this is where the concern is. Number 3, the student learns how to solve the problem. What can you have done better when this situation had happened? What could have been a better choice? Do you understand why you did this and how this could affect the classroom or the other colleagues, or how it affected me when I'm trying to teach this class? That gives them a better understanding. It leaves the dignity of both the student and the teacher intact, making sure the respect of you is there, but also at the same time trying to work with them to say that, wow, they were trying to make me understand why I did something wrong, how I could make myself better, and that you are trying to work with them will go a long way. And that's so important with discipline. Discipline is not to ridicule someone, is not sarcasm or embarrassing them, right? Now, you don't want to do that. Now, if someone's been constantly going on and sometimes they need a reality check, that's something separate. But when you're just trying to be sarcastic all the time and they bring that back at you, you get mad. You got to think about that, right? You can't be sarcastic all the time with the children, and then if sometimes say something, how dare you do that? Then they feel like, oh wow, why can an adult do it and not a child? And what we have to realize that good behavior doesn't just happen when you're young, but also as adults. So we have to show through example what good behavior, good conversations are, good dialogue looks like. Even when you're mad, how you speak to someone plays a very important part. So kind of keeping that in mind is so important. And then I want you to remember this. This is so important. In order for learning to take place, again, I want you to think about it, listen up. In order for learning to take place, there must be order in the classroom, right? For learning to take place, there has to be order in the classroom. But this is the most important part of this. In order for learning to take place, there must be something worth learning, right? In order for learning to take place, there must be something worth learning. If they are feeling like they are growing, they are improving, right? As we said, how do you motivate children in one of our other series, right? When you play video games, when they feel like they're gaining and they're mastering something, they are going to be more engaged. So they have to feel like there's something happening, there's beneficial, and they understand, or you're trying to make them understand how this is important in life or in their future, or they feel like at least they're understanding, they're gaining more knowledge. That is going to be very important.